But first, Irish voters head to the polls on Friday. It's the first general election in Ireland since the country exited an international bailout programme in 2013. The economy is experiencing rapid growth, but austerity cuts haven't been popular. CCTV's Lourda Sexton reports from Dublin.
Ireland's economic crash was one of the toughest in Europe. Yet fast forward 8 years, and it's hard to believe that Ireland is now the fastest growing economy in the Eurozone. While Ireland is seen as the poster child for recovery overseas, many here are quick to point out that the recovery has not trickled down to everyone in society. Catherine Claffey runs a small flower business on Dublin's busiest retail street and says while things have improved slightly, the current government hasn't made it any easier to survive.
They charge us rates and things for being here. And rates for what? Like, we have to take everything away at night. We need to get rid of that. They have our licence fee, they doubled that. Everything's gone up in price, you know what I mean? We're not getting any more for it. We're doing less business.
Talk of the economy has dominated this short election campaign. The incumbent Fine Gael Labour coalition government is trying to sway votes on the back of their economic success. But will it be enough to maintain power?
A question of whether the government's message about stability will be outweighed by the opposition's message, which is fairness, that there has been a recovery, but it needs to be more fairly distributed. The main opposition party, Fianna Fáil, has stressed this particularly, and the party leader of Fianna Fáil, Micheál Martin, has done well in the debates.
Unemployment levels have dropped to 8.6% from highs of over 15% in 2011. And while the economy has turned a corner, many issues still remain. There is a severe shortage of adequate housing, and the country's healthcare system requires much investment. But when it comes to election day, the biggest issue on everyone's mind seems to be stability.
We have an awful lot of crisis. I think the health is a serious issue. I think the employment, to have to keep the employment going forward. I think we have a lot of questions on environment. I hope that Eamon Ryan does well, because he's a very great spokesman on the environment. But for the sake of the country as a whole, I would like to see the Fine Gael Labour government return.
We're on a journey. A mess was inherited. It's going to take time.
More stability, but in general, I've been ignorant towards this, which is a mistake on my behalf. But no, yeah, I think more stability, obviously. But I think someone needs to stand up, but be proactive.
By all accounts, this election is going to be close, and the big decision facing Irish voters now is whether or not to vote in the tried and tested government who steered the country through hard times, or to vote for change and the hope of new promise. Lourda Sexton, CCTV, Dublin.